Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rollins Pond, or part of it I should say. It's a pretty decent sized pond. Most of the shoreline is covered with camps. My camper is set up down this way, but it's a good sized body of water. So yes, in my square pond video a couple weeks ago, I told you about Fish Creek, and Fish Creek was the one of the DEC flagship campgrounds, and Rolling Pond is behind Fish Creek. It's kind of the overflow for Fish Creek, I guess, but it's also not as busy and not as active as Fish Creek is. It's kind of what many have discovered to be the quiet alternative to its bigger neighbor down there. But in 1955, Rollins Pond is the campground started here as the popularity of camping grew, and Fish Creek grew all the way over 300 sites up there. So they put in a road back here to Rollins Pond and put in more campsites, and I think there's over 200 campsites here. So it is a good sized campground in itself, and it is the 1st of June, first week of June, and we are in this repeated weather system where it's 52 degrees right now. I got my paddle jacket on because it is not all that warm out. We had a great Memorial Day weekend. I was out truck camping and it was 80 degrees and the black flies were freaking thick. That's one good thing about the cool weather, is that the black flies are non. Ooh, a loon just popped up in front of me here. I'm spinning the camera around a little bit. Hopefully the camera, and it just went under. Hopefully the camera caught that. Loon over there. But it has been one of those weeks where the temperature just dropped off, but it's also been an unusual week here in the Adirondacks. So yes, it was an unusual week here in the Adirondacks and basically all of northern New York. The Canadian wildfires that are going on is absolutely raising havoc here in New York. The smoke from those fires just blanketed for the last 3 days. That's all. It was like the movie The Mist. You know, walking through the smoke all the time, and you know, you could smell the wood smoke, and it was just like a fog out. And you couldn't. Today's the first day I could see clouds. The last 3 days you could not see the clouds. I mean, there's some spectacular pictures that I'm putting up over here from it, but yeah, it was thick for about 3 days. Now that the wind patterns have changed a little bit, we're not getting the smoke, and I can finally see the clouds again. But so it's been a different week here in the Adirondacks. But this pond used to be called Rollins Pond, R-A-W-L-I-N-S. It is now Rollins Pond, which is R-O-L-L-I-N-S. Rollins Pond, Floodwood Pond, and Long Pond, those ponds are interconnected by little streams, and back in the early 1800s they built dams so they could float logs down those streams into Floodwood Pond to load onto rail cars to be shipped to Tupper Lake, to the herd mill, I think it is, in Tupper Lake. But by the end of the 1880s or so, 1870s, tourism started to take over, and sportsmen and hunters took over the woods. And tourism, basically, there was some grand hotels up here that catered to these tourists, and probably by 1930s, that had ended. And now nature's reclaimed this all up here. There's full les forest up here, but it really is a great area up here. St. Regis canoe areas up here, and if you get a chance to stay at Fish Creek or Rollins Pond, I highly suggest it. So whether you are a hiker or a paddler, you'll love this area. There's just so much to explore up here. There's hiking trails, there's trails to go up mountains, paddling galore up here. This is part of the St. Regis canoe area, and that's probably why this place is so popular, is because it has all this stuff to do. So if you come to Rollins Pond and Fish Creek Campground share the same driveway off of Route 30. So the driveway is probably about 11 miles northwest of Tupper Lake, off of Route 30. And you'll want to pull into Fish Creek Campground, and you actually got to drive through that campground about 1.5 miles. Well, let me get that black fly out of there. About 1.5 miles through the campground till you come to Rollins Pond, the road to it, and it's another mile to the campground. So it's a remote campground, there's no doubt about it, and it's pretty decent campground. So I'm staying here at Rollins Pond, so I will have a review out on this campground later on. But it's definitely a nice area. Kind of wish we would shake the cold weather and get some nice weather in here. Like I said, Memorial Day weekend was 80s. I can deal with that for the rest of the summer, but we just need to get there. It was 52 degrees in June. Yeah, it's supposed to be 38 tonight, so probably had to heat that heater that new heater I have for the camper. I'll have that on tonight probably. So, but I'm gonna finish out my paddle here and see what I can see. Then I'm gonna head back to the camper, make dinner, and then go find my next adventure. See you then. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.